And we're back with another live stream. Welcome, everyone. This evening, we are actually going to take a look at installing Windows Terminal. This is a follow-on with WSL that we actually did last week. And then we're actually going to tune all the dot files and all the environment. Two more like this, and we're actually going to have a working Ansible environment that we can target actual virtual machines in practice. So let's get this out of the way first of all by installing Windows Terminal and then getting our dot files to perfection so that we're going to be really good in subsequent labs. Let me share with you a little exercise of actually running install Windows Terminal, and this is online at alta3.com/blog, and then tune your dot files. I'm going to actually go through both of those with you right now in demonstration. Okay, so just to make you a believer, I did want to show you that I'm starting from a fresh WSL. We've seen this before. This is not Windows Terminal, but this is, and we're going to install it. And here we go. So a quick trip to the Microsoft Store, get it, install it. It's that easy. Okay, this is Windows Terminal, but it's saying PowerShell. I don't want PowerShell. It's not what I want. So let's click on that settings. Oh my goodness. What is all that red comment stuff going on? It's got to go. It's just got to go. So delete it all, get rid of it. It's not going to hurt anything. And you'll notice that once this is all gone, I'm going to go ahead and save this and then open up my Windows Terminal, because if I botched something, if I deleted something that I shouldn't have, Windows Terminal will really gripe at me. So there you see, I went ahead and saved it. Opening up Terminal, it's not complaining at all. Yeah, I didn't break the JSON, but it's also still saying PowerShell. So I want to make 5 changes to this. The first thing is I get rid of that Azure Cloud. Don't worry, it just bounces right back. If you delete it, it's going to come back. I want to get rid of that GUID right there. Well, not get rid of it, but copy it over into the default profile. By doing that, now when I close down Windows Terminal and bring it back again, it's going to seek out the default, which is, yay, Ubuntu 2004. That's what I want. Look, you notice that really long home directory? I want just the tilde directory, like that. So that was the second change that you'll read about in the blog. Next thing is, I just detest that bell sound that this Terminal makes if you make the slightest little mistake. So right now I'm doing every possible thing that I could do wrong that would make a bell go off like a gong, and it's not. So with the bell silenced, I want to add some colors to the Terminal. So I found colors that I like. It's not hard to go shopping for colors. In this case, the scheme that I'm using is 3024, and I'm making that color scheme match with the Ubuntu Terminal up above in the JSON. So now I have my colors, and I'm going to go ahead and save that. You know, I'm just curious if these new colors actually work. So let's test them. So here we go. I'm going to export one of my famous PS1s that always makes Sean laugh. And there you go. That my crazy colors, which I like. All right. So with those colors in mind, the last thing is, Windows Control V. I know it's for pasting, but no, Control V is a Vim command, and I want it back. So I'm going to change that Control plus V, and watch what happens. It's not going to last long. We're going to replace Control plus Control Shift V. Did you see that? It's like a Control capital V now. So you still could paste, but you'd have to do a Control Shift V. But watch this now when I do the visual block. So I do the Control, sweet. Now I can actually insert stuff in a column like that, and it's, this is wonderful. It was almost one of the reasons that I quit using Terminal till I found that little patch. Now, you notice it's a long way to some of the popular destinations in Windows. I don't really like that, and there's a simple solution in Linux, is just to drop a few symlinks in there. So let's go ahead and first of all prove it's a long way to downloads, a long way to documents. And for sure need symlinks. So Let's CD back to our home directory. And in goes symlink1 that I'm just going to call keys. And I'm going to create downloads, but this time with a lowercase downloads. There's the two symlinks, and it's crazy simple to symlink into them now, or to CD into them. Much better. I don't have to worry about that long path to get there. It only takes a few minutes to do this. Lastly, I don't like Nano. I can't stand it. I want to use Vim. So I do the alternatives and actually request that Vim is my editor. Now, I got some really nice dot files that I got attached to, and this is the best way I've ever found to back up my dot files. So yeah, I already have this directory created and it's private, but if you're doing it for the first time, it wouldn't be griping at you. And there we go, up on my GitHub repos, I have dot files created. Now I'm actually going to clone this, and yes, this is like totally staged. Oh no, it already exists. What do I do now? Which is just an excuse to show you something that I thought was really cool. Watch this. So what I'm going to do is actually clone my dot files into an alternate directory that is not a problem. And then I'm just going to rsync it right into the target. My bash rc, vim rc, readme, and ssh configs all back. Notice that I typed bash to prove that my environments are back. Now, lastly, after getting rid of those untracked files, because I don't want it to keep reminding me that are untracked files that I have no intention of adding to my dot files anyhow, what I would like to do is just show you a demo of adding one. So I'm going to add a Vim for a dot file appropriately called Dotty. So here we go. Let's do it. So Vim Dotty. And we're just going to put some text in it that we can recognize, just the test file. And let's add it, commit it, push it. Patience, it's happening. All right, so now Dotty is actually up there. Let's go ahead and confirm that it's up there. So just clicking on my repo and drag it over like this and zoom in so you can see it. There's Dotty. Now, I do want to explain what just happened right there, because that's not intuitive at all. So what actually happened, guys, is that my home directory, where I'm actually storing all my dot files, is not the beginning of the tree. In order to do this little trick, you actually set up a bare repo. That means a repository with no tree. It's like empty. And then I basically artificially make the root of the tree in a dot files. Do you get it? So then I alias dot files to take any file that I want, to add any file that I want into, hey, so who was that little visitor there? Oh, and we're never going to find out who that little visitor was, Hillary. Whatever. So anyhow, he's back. So whatever the case, I copied them into dot files. And the command was unbelievably ugly. But if you alias it, which is not a problem because bash rc is now in my backup, I would type dot files, status, dot files, add, dot files, commit, and the long alias that's included with it, I don't type that. So instead of typing git, I just type dot files, and it stores everything in dot files and ultimately pushes right up to the repo. I can't imagine backing up your dot files any other way. The rest of the stuff, I would encourage all of you, take the time. It's good. This video, which I did for you in 5 minutes, is going to take you about 40 minutes to finish all that and get it to the point that you really like it. But once you have a terminal that you're happy with, your dot files are safe and secure, and you can trash all of this and build it again, you will get better at it. Probably take a half hour the next time you do it, and you're back. I also think that setting up an arrangement like this is really helpful for the students. I like the vivid colors that students get to see, and it's sort of, they just, oh yeah, that's Stu. He chooses a lot of colors that don't go together very well. What do you think?
Don't sell yourself short. I think you got a real flair for color selection.
Yeah. Well, if you'll notice that some of there was reasons for some of those colors in all of that. And I tell you, El, one thing that actually Sean helped me out on this one. Sean, you abandoned Windows Terminal, right? Control V issues?
Yep.
Couldn't stand it. That changed when you could turn Control V into Control Shift V.
Oh yeah, I'm all back in 100% now.
Yeah. I'm using the Solaris color scheme. Boy, it is pretty. And if you look at the Vim stuff, the ruler that's in place for it, way better than anything I've been doing with Vim before, because I just never took the time to make the Dotfiles like to perfection. I should have done that. Are we good, guys?
Yeah, we're good. I've never played with those, so I'm gonna mess around with those.
So tune your Dotfiles, install Windows Terminal. Next week is we're launching virtual machines, and then the week after that, targeting them with Ansible. After that, it's rocket science all the rest of the way in.
Cool. Thanks, Stu.
Yeah. Okay. Good night, guys. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Stu. Have a good night.